guys, it's Jessie and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have something to admit. I have relapsed in my book buying addiction. So we have a huge book haul for you guys. These are all the books I bought in the past month or so, and there is a lot here. I will just slide this in. This isn't the bottom of the pile, it goes like down to my desk. We've got quite a few books to share with you guys. Like, I really don't have any words. This is a lot of books. There's over 20 books here that I bought in the last month, which is atrocious in terms of financially and in terms of the books I still have to read. I don't know if you can see over here, I have this shelf and this shelf, and that is all books I have not read yet, including this 20 here. But I do love buying books. It's one of my favorite hobbies and I love sharing them with you guys, and I love reading too. So without further ado, I am going to just share all these books with you guys. I'm very, very excited for this. I've read a couple of them already, but most of these are unread. Some of these are on my TBR for this month and others for another month. But I'm just going to move this down because I'm worried this is going to fall. I'm just going to go through in no particular order. Most of these books I bought from either Waterstones or The Works. A couple were bought for me, which I'm very grateful for, but I'm not going to be talking about all of that. I'm just going to be going through the books. So the first one we have here is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I've heard so many good things about this. I've heard that it's like Love and Other Words, but just ever so slightly different. I haven't read Love and Other Words. That's another book that I really want to read, but obviously don't need to buy it anytime soon. But this sounds really cute. It says on the blurb, 5 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart. They say you can never go home again, and for Persephone Fraser, that has felt too true for the last decade. Ever since she made the biggest mistake of her life, instead of glittering summers on the lakeshore of her childhood, she spends them in a stylish apartment in the city, going out with friends and keeping everyone a safe distance from her heart, until the day she gets a call that sends her racing back to Barry's Bay and into the orbit of Sam Florek. For 5 summers, through hazy afternoons on the water and warm summer nights working in his family's restaurant, Percy and Sam have been inseparable, and slowly that friendship turned into something breathtakingly more, before it fell spectacularly apart. When Percy returns to the lake to attend Sam's mother's funeral, their connection is undeniable as it's always been. Percy must confront the decisions she'd made and the years she spent punishing herself for them in order to determine once and for all whether their love might be bigger than the biggest mistake of their past. Told over the course of 5 years and 1 weekend, Every Summer After is a big, sweeping look at love and the people and choices that mark us forever. So that sounds really, really cute. I really want to read that one. Kind of a childhood friends to lovers type of thing, and very excited for this one. Gonna be a very cute summer read, I believe. Then we have You've Reached Sam. A couple of these books you might have seen from my last TBR video, because I am planning to read some of these this month. This I've seen all over TikTok and I think it's meant to be quite sad. On the blurb it says, 17-year-old Julie Clark has her future all planned out. Move out of her small town with her boyfriend Sam, attend college in the city, spend a summer in Japan, but then Sam dies and everything changes. Heartbroken and desperate to hear him one more time, Julie calls Sam's phone just to listen to his voicemail recording, and Sam picks up the phone. The connection is temporary, but hearing Sam's voice makes Julie fall for him all over again, and with each call it becomes harder to let him go. What would you do if you had a second chance at goodbye? So definitely think this is going to be a tearjerker for me. It's a pretty short book, but heard so many great things about this, so definitely want to read this one soon. Obviously I want to read them soon, but I think it's going to be a really nice read. Definitely probably will make me cry. Next up we have How to Kill Your Family. This is meant to be quite a dark humour one. It says on the back, they say you can't choose your family but you can kill them. Meet Grace Bernard, daughter, sister, serial killer. Grace has lost everything and she will stop at nothing to get revenge. So pretty short blurb, but sounds really interesting. I love kind of a dark humour book. I love true crime and stuff, so I think I definitely will like this, and the cover of this I think is really cute. I really love the pink and it's black on the back, which I really like as well. So yeah, definitely hoping to read that one this month as well. Then the last one I'm hoping to read this month, besides the others who I've already read but we won't talk about that, is If We Were Villains. This is meant to be like dark academia kind of mystery book. It says on the back, Oliver Marks has just served 10 years for a murder he may or may not have committed. On the day of his release, he is greeted by the detective who put him in prison. Detective Colborne is retiring and he wants to know what really happened a decade before. As a young actor at an elite conservatory, Oliver noticed that his talented castmates seemed to play the same characters on stage and off, villain, hero, temptress, though he was always a supporting role. But when the teachers changed the casting, a good-natured rivalry turns ugly, and the play spilled dangerously over into real life. When tragedy strikes, one of the 7 friends is found dead. The rest face their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police and themselves that they are blameless. So definitely love the sound of this. We'll hopefully get round to it this month as well. Then we've got Milk, Blood, Heat. I've already read this and absolutely adore it. This is a short story collection. definitely more kind of adult themes. It's not like smutty or anything like that, but just like kind of a more mature book, I think. It's just a collection of short stories. So on the back it just says, set in the suburbs and the cities of the modern world, but about the ancient essences of who and what we are. Milk Blood Heat is a collection of human connection, race, womanhood, inheritance, all told through the stories and lives of ordinary people confronted by extraordinary moments of reckoning. So I really love this. Definitely very glad I picked this one up. Then we have Terms and Conditions. I'm not going to read the full blurb of this because it's really long. I'm only going to kind of give summaries because I've now realised that it's taken me ages to read through all the blurbs. But this is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaires series. This is about Declan, who needs to marry someone to get his inheritance. His kind of grandfather's put it in the will that he needs to marry someone and have a child, and it's kind of fake dating because Iris, his assistant, steps in, and it's very much I hate everyone in the world but you, grumpy sunshine, fake dating, forced proximity because she obviously has to move in with him as well. And this is just, firstly, the cover art is gorgeous, and I love the first book, love this one too. So yeah, I picked this one up at Waterstones, like full price. I was very happy to just pick this one up. I was looking for it for ages because I couldn't find it anywhere. Now I'm very pleased to have found it. Then we have For Colleen Hoovers, for my Colleen Hoover reading vlog that you would have just seen as well. This is Losing Hope, which is the second book in the Hopeless series. I really didn't like Hopeless, but actually much more enjoyed this one. Picked this one up, as you can see from the works. I picked all of these up from there, and they're slightly discounted, which is good. But this is told from Dean Holder's point of view rather than Sky's. Then we've got This Girl, which is the third book in the Point of Retreat series. This is the second one, and then Slammed is the first one, which I already read, and I got that one a while ago. But I just bought these two. I like this one a lot more than this one, and I like Slammed more than both of them. This one was probably the worst book I've read all year so far, and this one was just very average. This one is kind of the next few steps in their relationship, and this one is the whole story again told from Will's point of view, which I just found a bit pointless, but did pick those two up as well. And then the last Colleen Hoover we have is Without Merit. This is less of a romance and more of a book about kind of family, and it's kind of like a lot of secrets that kind of are unraveling, so I enjoyed this one as well. But did pick those up. Then we have another pile of books here that I haven't actually read yet, which is obviously always exciting. So the first one is Meet Me in Another Life, which I'm partway through. So on the back it says, under a ruined clock tower, Thora and Santi are about to meet for the very first time, again. Their connection is instant. They feel like they've known each other forever. Maybe they have. Now they must unravel the mystery of their strange connection, but some mysteries take more than one lifetime to solve. So absolutely love the premise of this one. So far I'm really enjoying it. Really glad I picked this one up, and I just think it's quite a short one, but really love the story so far, and the text isn't too big, so it is like a decent sized book, but really liking this one so far. Then we have a little non-fiction one that I just saw for £3. I really love true crime, and this is Inside the Mind of Jeffrey Dahmer, the cannibal killer. Obviously this is just kind of a obviously non-fiction book just about him and his crimes, so I'm really excited to kind of read into this. I find it really interesting, the kind of psychology behind crime, so we'll probably give this a read as my non-fiction pick for next month. Then we have a more thriller mystery book which I've heard a lot about, and that is the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osmond. So in the back it says, four unlikely friends, a shocking murder, welcome to the Thursday Murder Club. In a peaceful retirement village, four unlikely friends meet up once a week to investigate unsolved murders, but when a brutal killing takes place on their very doorstep, the Thursday Murder Club finds themselves in the middle of their first case. Elizabeth, Joyce, Ibrahim and Ron might be pushing 80, but they still have a few tricks up their sleeve. Can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? So yeah, I heard really great things about this one. I'm really excited to read it. I think I will really enjoy it. It's not on my list for this month, but definitely I think for next month I will want to read this one. I've heard a lot of great things, as I said before, so definitely excited for this. I love a good kind of crime mystery type of book, so this will be really fun. Then we have one I picked up more recently, and this was on the recommendation of Jack Edwards, I believe. Not personally, obviously, just through his videos. And firstly, the cover on this is just stunning. It's almost set out like a hardback, and it's got like little reflective bits, and it just looks like this. So this is a short book, but it's called Before the Coffee Gets Cold. From what I've heard, basically in one particular coffee shop you sit in this seat and you can travel back in time, but you only have until you kind of finish the entire cup of coffee to kind of change what you wanted to. So as far as I'm aware, it's kind of 4 short stories, originally written in Japanese and translated, but on the blurb it just says, "Are you listening?" Kazu continued. "When you return to the past, you must drink the entire cup before the coffee goes cold. I don't actually like coffee that much. Kazu opened her eyes wider and brought her face an inch or two from the tip of Fumiko's nose. "This is the one rule you absolutely have to obey," she said in a low voice. So very kind of just a little clip from the book, I guess, and then it's got a full kind of blurb here, but obviously it will not bore you with reading that. But overall, I'm just really excited for this one. I just love it. Like, I think it is stunning, so pretty. So cannot wait to read that. Then this one I'm actually really excited for. Definitely kind of not my typical book, but I was in Waterstones and I was having a chat with one of the guys that worked there, and I was telling him how I read a lot of kind of romance and I'm trying to kind of branch out a bit, and he recommended a bunch of other books like Akatar and Girl in Pieces, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I've already read. And then he mentioned this one, which I thought seemed very interesting and I hadn't really heard anything about. This is called Alice, and it's meant to be a dark retelling of Alice in Wonderland. So I'm going to read the blurb because I thought it sounded really, really interesting. It says, "In a warren of crumbling buildings and desperate people called the Old City, there stands a hospital with cinder block walls which echo with the screams of the poor souls inside. In the hospital there's a woman. Her hair, once blonde, hangs in tangles down her back. She doesn't remember why she's in such a terrible place, just a tea party long ago and long ears and blood. Then one night a fire at the hospital gives the woman a chance to escape, tumbling out of the hole that imprisoned her, leaving her free to uncover the truth about what happened to her all those years ago. Only something else has escaped with her, something dark and something powerful. And to find the truth, she will have to track this beast to the very heart of the old city, where the rabbit waits for his Alice." So I really don't know what this is going to be about, but from what he was saying about it sounded really, really good, quite dark and very, very interesting. So really looking forward to this one. We'll definitely probably get around to that next month. Then we have a classic, It Happened One Summer. I didn't realize this book was as big as it was, but this is such a kind of popular book talk book. I've heard it's kind of like Schitt's Creek-esque, kind of a it girl and grumpy guy fisherman romance. So I'm not going to read the blurb because it is so long, but I think you've probably heard a lot about this. It's by Tessa Bailey, and the second one is Hook, Line and Sinker, which came out recently and I believe is very popular. So I'm very, very excited to read this one. Again, probably next month on my TBR, because my one for this month is a very, very long. And then the last was a set of 5 books that I bought, which is a series I'm very excited about reading. I'm thinking of doing a reading vlog for this series because it's so popular. I found this in the works for £15 for all 5 books, which I was super pleased about, and that is the Shatter Me series. So here we've got Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Ignite Me, which this is probably my favourite cover. I love the flowers. Then Restore Me and Defy Me. So I'm not going to read the blurbs of these 4 because I feel like that will kind of spoil it, because obviously it's in a series. But the first one just says, "I have a curse, I have a gift, I'm a monster, I'm more than human. My touch is lethal, my touch is power, I am their weapon. A fragile teenage girl is held captive, locked in a cell by the re-establishment, a harsh dictatorship in charge of the crumbling world. But Juliet is no ordinary teenage girl. One touch from her can kill. The re-establishment wants to use her as a weapon, but Juliet has other plans. After a lifetime without freedom, she's finally discovered the strength to fight back and to find a future with the one person she thought she'd lost forever." So very, very excited for this one. This one's kind of short and then they get much thicker as we go on. I believe there's also a couple of novellas, I'm not too sure, but I've heard mixed reviews, but overall people seem to really like this. I love a bit of YA kind of dystopian type of book. I was very much a Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Divergent type of girl, so I do think I'll enjoy this. I think I'll do a reading vlog for all of them, depending on my thoughts on the first one, obviously. But yeah, these are the last 5 in the little book haul, and I was super, super pleased to pick them up because I've been wanting to read them for a while, and £15 for 5 books, you really can't go wrong. So yeah, that was my massive new book haul. As you can see, we have a lot of books here and I'm very, very excited to read them all, make a lot of content with them. You will see all of them in TBR's What I've Read in the next couple of months, and if you want to see any specific reading vlogs, if you want me to include them in reading challenges or anything, then do let me know and I will be more than happy to do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like down below, hit subscribe, turn on the bell to join a little club, and make sure you turn on all notifications, then you'll be notified every single time I post a new video. If you want to watch my other videos, there'll be 2 on the screen now to pick from, as well as a load linked up in the cards from earlier. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!